Oliver Thomas hopes that you enjoy this bookshelf tour. Hi everyone, so I thought I may as well give you a bookshelf tour, especially seeing as I now have many more subscribers than I had the last time I did a bookshelf tour. I do have two bookshelves in my room, this being the first one, and that being the other one, and it's dying. But the other one is my YA bookshelf, and while I know that's probably what you're more interested in seeing, it has a lot of titles missing. This one has some titles missing also, but I figured I could probably do a better job with this one for now, so that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully you'll enjoy. Okay, so this top shelf that isn't actually a shelf, but I'm using it as one because I need room, is my fairy tale retellings shelf. And I should say the fairy tale retelling novels, not anthologies of short stories, because they're in the other room. And up here is the mask that was sent with my copy of Carnival of Souls by Melissa Marr. So yes, let's go through these titles here. We have Kate Forsyth's Bitter Greens, Jackson Pierce's Sisters Red, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister by Gregory Maguire, Jodi Picoult's Between the Lines, which she co-wrote with her daughter, Daughter of the Forest by Juliet Marillier, which is the first book in the Seven Waters series, The Girl with the Glass Feet by Ali Shaw, Lips Touched 3 Times by Lani Taylor, Beauty by Susan Wilson, Tender Morsels by Margot Lanigan, Impossible by Nancy Whelan, Sea Hearts by Margot Lanigan, Sweetly by Jackson Pierce, Moonlight and Ashes by Sophie Masson, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, Ash by Melinda Lowe, Heart's Blood by Juliet Marillier, The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab, Mermaid by Carolyn Turgeon, Entwined by Heather Dixon, Wildwood Dancing and Cybel's Secret, both by Juliet Marillier, Beauty Sleep by, or is it Shannon Dockey, is it? Cameron Dockey, yep. Go back in there. Go back in there! Cross Stitch by Diana Gabaldon. I'd always mispronounce her name, and this is of course Outlander. It probably really shouldn't actually be up in the fairy tale section, so it's leaving. It's going to go in the fantasy section, it is. But yeah, you'll know this is the first in the Outlander series, but we've got a different title because Australia's stupid. Crown Jewel by Sherwood Smith, The Black Swan by Mercedes Lackey, and Enchantment by Orson Scott Card. And he, of course, is the author of Ender's Game, which is a very famous YA/children's sci-fi book. So I'm thinking actually also that Crown Jewel probably shouldn't be up here in this section. So I'm discovering things as I go and realizing that some books don't actually belong here. So Crown Jewel can go with the fantasy stuff. And yes, there is the fairy tale retellings. Some are missing. Some are missing. Don't ask me what, but some are. Right, now we're moving on to the general fiction section of my bookshelf. So we've got The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova, The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory, Atonement by Ian McEwan, Room by Emma Donoghue Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, Possession by A.S. Bryant, Friends, Lovers, Chocolate by Alexander McCall Smith, The Heroines by Aileen Favourite. I love it, her last name is Favourite. Which one is this? This is Nights at the Circus by Angela Carter, and The Magic Toy Shop by Angela Carter. Am I saying Angela Carter? Yes, I am. Good. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, The Forgotten Garden, The House at Riverton, and The Distant Hours, all by Kate Morton. The Time Traveller's Wife and Her Fearful Symmetry, both by Audrey Niffenegger. This is The Case of the Imaginary Detective by Karen Joy Fowler. That is One Day by David Nichols. And because I can't fit all my fantasy in the tiny fantasy section I have for adult fiction, some of them sit up here. So, A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, A Certain Slant of Light by Laura Whitcomb, The Book of Tomorrow by Celia Ahern, Graveminder by Melissa Marr, and The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And then behind those books are these books. We've got An Equal Music by Verkham Seth, Oh, The Lollipop Shoes by Joanne Harris, and The Girl with No Shadow by Joanne Harris. Also, Chocolat should be there, but someone has my copy. How to Eat a Cupcake by Meg Donoghue. Maeve Binchy, hold on, what's this one called? The Return Journey. They're short stories by Maeve Binchy about travel and stuff. High Fidelity and About a Boy, both by Nick Hornby. Never Let Me Go by that guy whose name I won't butcher. The Reading Group by Elizabeth Noble. Bridget Jones's Diary and Bridget Jones's Diary, The Edge of Reason by Helen Fielding. Books, Baguettes and Bedbugs by Jeremy Mercer. The Snow Queen by Sarah Addison Allen. The Palace of Illusions by a person whose name I will not butcher. The Ballroom on Magnolia Street. Is it the Ballroom? Yes, The Ballroom on Magnolia Street by Sharon Owens. I also have The Tea Shop on Maple Street, I think it is, but someone has my copy. Angels and Demons and The Da Vinci Code, both by Dan Brown. Ben Elton's Dead Famous. Circle of Friends by Meg Binchy. A Walk to Remember and The Notebook, both by Nicholas Sparks. And I don't know where my other... I've got 2 Ben Elton books, I should say. I also have Inconceivable, but I have no idea where it is, so it should be there, but it is not, so I am a tad confused. But anyway, then over here we have Shadowlands, which is the novelization of the film, so that's by Leonore Flischer. And then Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man, James Joyce. Then we've got The Journal of Dora Damage by Belinda Sterling. The Shadow of the Wind by that guy, whose name I can never pronounce. We've got Juliet by Anne Fortier. And Passion by Jude Morgan. That's them. Just to add that I remembered when I saw The Case of the Imaginary Detective that another one of Karen Joy Fowler's books that I own is the Jane Austen Book Club, but it is also not here. Okay, so this is my middle section of books, and it's dedicated to fantasy. That doesn't necessarily fit into YA, so obviously here's the Harry section. We've got Hedwig sitting there chilling. We've got Harry's glasses. We've got an old Harry pen that no longer works, but I kept it because it was from film number 1. And here's my Harry doll with his Azkaban hood and his punky hairstyle because he's hardcore. Yeah! And he's sitting in front of my CDs, my audiobook of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, read by Stephen Fry, because who doesn't want Stephen Fry reading to them? And I won those at a Harry Potter party once, because I was the best dressed person there. Of course I was. And here are all my Harry books, Deathly Hallows, and Philosopher's Stone, and Azkaban, because I don't know where Chamber of Secrets is, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince. Yeah. Sitting behind those books is, of course, my queen. Oh, it's sitting on it, of course it is, my Gryffindor scarf. And here we have my Harry journals, filled with all my Harry fanness. So, Harry journals, yes, yes, yes. And my Harry books. Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Them, and Quidditch Through the Ages. My pretend Tom Riddle's diary that I took for at a movie premiere. My quiz book, So You Think You Know Harry Potter. Harry History by Melissa Anelli, who of course is very famous for running the Leaky Cauldron website. J.K. Rowling, the wizard behind Harry Potter, and that's an unofficial biography. The Magical Worlds of Harry Potter, which is like an encyclopedia thing. My copy of Tales of Beedle the Bard, which is the American edition. And What Will Harry Do, rather, which is Payoffs and Possibilities in Book 7. I also had a really great book, which was the MuggleNet edition of like philosophies and stuff and theories and whatnot for book number 7. This is obviously prior to Deathly Hallows release, and I had that and it was great, and I just loved all the MuggleNet staff members geeking out and things, but I don't know where the heck it is. Someone's borrowing it. Damn me and lending books and never getting them back. Here are all my Barry Trotters. So Barry Trotter and the Shameless Parody, Barry Trotter and the Unnecessary Sequel, and Barry Trotter and the Dead Horse. So I've got all my Barrys. Back here are my Tolkien stuff, so we've got the Sonnet, the Sonnet, and we've got the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, the 3 Lord of the Rings novels, and a biography on Tolkien, which is really, really, really good, really good. Some of my adult fantasy, we've got A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, we've got The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin, The Passage by Justin Cronin, Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris, and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. And behind those are Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, Hogfather by Terry Pratchett, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, The Colour of Magic by Terry Pratchett, Dark Alchemy, which is edited by some folks, and it features short stories about sorcery and things. The first 3 Vampire Chronicle novels by Anne Rice, and Blood in the Mist by Hope Merrilees, which is a really dull cover. I don't quite know why it actually has no picture. It's like a working title one. But yeah, I had to get that for uni, and it's a really lovely story, so it's a shame it doesn't actually have a cover, so there you go.